Welcome to the Lodge. From the riverbanks to the end zones, we're diving deep into everything that matters most to the colony. You're listening to State of the Beavers. I'm your host, Brian, and whether you're a diehard alum, a nature enthusiast, or just here for the ecosystem, we've got you covered. Today on the show, we're breaking down the latest headlines, checking the pulse of the community, and asking the big questions that define our state today. Grab your gear, a beer, and settle in. It's time to gnaw through the noise. This is the State of the Beavers, starting right now.
All right, welcome back. The college football season is really heating up, and honestly, the championship picture is getting clearer and way more chaotic by the minute. Today, we're going to do a rapid-fire breakdown of the biggest results, the players who are taking over, and the games that are absolutely going to define Week 7. Let's jump right in. So, first thing, just look at this number, 73. What in the world does that mean? Well, that's how many points one team dropped on an opponent last week. It was a statement win that sent some serious shockwaves through the rankings. We'll get to who that was in just a second. But, before we can even look ahead, we have to talk about the absolute chaos of Week 6. The results from this past weekend completely reset the board. We had blowouts, we had thrillers, and a whole new set of questions for the top teams. And wow, was it a week of pure dominance for a lot of teams. I mean, you had several top teams that just rolled over their competition. Ohio State put up 55, Georgia handled Kentucky pretty easily, but the real headline grabber was Colorado. They put up that staggering 73 points on TCU. A performance like that, it doesn't just get you a win, it gets everybody's attention. But, not every game was a blowout. On the complete other end of the spectrum, we had that classic rivalry between Florida State and Miami, which was just a totally different story. A 34-31 slugfest that went right down to the wire. And that, right there, is the beauty of college football, isn't it? You get total domination and these heart-stopping finishes all on the same weekend. So, what's the fallout from all that action? Well, those results really shook things up in the top 25, rewarding the teams that dominated and, well, punishing the ones that faltered. Okay, let's start at the very top. After 6 weeks, only a handful of teams have managed to navigate the storm perfectly. We're down to just 6 undefeated teams inside the top 10, led by Georgia, Texas, and Penn State. These are your current kings of the hill, right? The teams with a clear path to the playoff. But as we know, in college football, that can all change in a single weekend. And the rankings right now are telling 2 completely different stories. On one side, you've got Colorado, the big riser. That 73-point explosion, it launched them right into the top 25. Then on the other side, you've got a team like LSU, who I'd call a team on alert. They're still ranked number 10, but with 2 losses already, they are just barely clinging to their spot among the elite. So you're probably asking, why are they still there? Honestly, it's a testament to who they lost to and the sheer talent they have. But their margin for error, it's officially 0. Now, team performance is one thing, but it's often driven by some absolutely incredible individuals. And that brings us to the players who are defining this season and, of course, the race for the biggest award in college sports, the Heisman Trophy. Let me throw another number at you, 9. That is the incredible, almost unbelievable number of passing touchdowns one quarterback threw in a single game last week. Just an absolutely legendary performance that has completely reshaped the Heisman race. And here he is. That quarterback was Colorado's Kaidon Salter. Just look at the stat line against TCU. 42 for 48, over 500 yards, and of course those 9 touchdowns. It's truly one of the most dominant single-game performances you will ever see, and it has vaulted him from just an interesting player to a must-watch Heisman contender overnight. So where does a performance like that put him in the bigger picture? Well, Georgia's wide receiver, Zachariah Branch, is the current frontrunner. And then you've got Indiana QB Fernando Mendoza. But look who's right there at number 3, Kaidon Salter. And notice his odds. They're actually better than Mendoza's. That tells you the betting markets believe his momentum is for real. That one game single-handedly skyrocketed his stock, putting him in a position to seriously challenge for the top spot. Okay, so that brings us to what's next. With the rankings all shuffled up and the Heisman race heating up, all eyes are now turning to Week 7, which is a weekend that's just packed with matchups that could create even more chaos. So the big question is, where should you focus your attention? I mean, which games carry the most weight for the playoff race and that whole national championship picture? Without a doubt, the game of the week is the Red River Showdown between Texas and Oklahoma. Both teams are rolling into this rivalry undefeated at 5-0. The winner here doesn't just get bragging rights. They take a huge step towards a conference title and a spot in the college football playoff. It really doesn't get much bigger than this. And the drama does not stop there. We have a couple of other top teams facing incredibly tough road tests. Number 1 Georgia has to go to Auburn, which is always a battle. And then look at this one. Undefeated number 6 South Carolina travels to number 10 LSU. Remember LSU, that 2-loss team clinging to the top 10? They are going to be waiting for South Carolina in Baton Rouge, and their stadium Death Valley is going to be rocking. An upset there could completely derail South Carolina's perfect season.
So, here's what I want to leave you with. We have 6 undefeated teams in the top 10 right now. Between that Texas-Oklahoma collision and South Carolina's brutal road test at LSU, the huge question is this: how many of them will still be standing with a perfect record come Sunday morning? The chaos, believe me, is just getting started.
This podcast is presented by Pine Valley Auto Group. From rugged trucks to everyday commuters, find your drive at Pine Valley.
All right, let's talk about one of those classic questions in football. You know the one? What happens when an unstoppable force slams into an immovable object? Well, this week, we're actually going to see it play out in real time. You've got Duke's absolutely electric offense going up against the defensive juggernaut that is Oregon State. And believe me, this isn't just another game, it's a clash of philosophies. And look, you can pretty much boil this entire matchup down to this one slide right here. On one side, you have the Duke offense, just a machine, putting up almost 39 points every single game. And on the other, Oregon State's defense, a total brick wall that's giving up barely over 10. This is the definition of a perfect collision.
All right, so let's start with the unstoppable force, shall we? Let's really dig into what makes this Duke offense tick.
It all starts with just pure, raw production. We're talking 443 yards of offense per game. That's good for 20th in the entire country. And this isn't some flash in the pan. They do this week in, week out. They don't just move the chains. They consistently chew up yards and control the game.
And here's the thing that makes them so tough. They are anything but one-dimensional. You got your quarterback, Darian Mensah, slinging it all over the field for almost 300 yards a game. But you can't just drop back into coverage because then their running back, Peyton Jones, will gash you. He's already punched in 5 touchdowns. Oh, and on the outside, Samir Hagans is a nightmare matchup with 4 scores himself. It's that balance. That's the real kill.
But on the other side of the ball, you've got the immovable object. You've got the Oregon State wall. And folks, this is one of the most intimidating defenses in all of college football.
In this chart, this tells the whole story. This isn't a unit that's just good at one thing. They are truly elite at everything. They're number 2 in the country in scoring defense. They're number 3 in sacks, meaning they practically live in the opponent's backfield, and they're 7th against the run. So where's the weakness? Good luck finding one.
And it all funnels down to this one absolutely insane number, 10.4. That's it. That's all they give up per game, the second best mark in the nation. Let me put it another way. Teams just do not score on these guys. It's a complete lockdown.
So how does a defense get this good? Well, it's not by accident, that's for sure. This isn't just a bunch of great athletes. No, this is a reflection of a philosophy, a blueprint put in place by a very specific architect. And this quote from their first-year head coach, Caleb Ward, it says everything. You don't need to beat them in recruiting every year. You need to beat them on Saturdays. That's the mindset. It's not about 5-star recruits and media hype. It's about what you do for 60 minutes on that field. And this guy, Coach Ward, he's only 36 years old. He wasn't some big, splashy hire. Nope, he was a strategic one. He was brought in to completely recalibrate a program that had gotten a little stale. The mission was simple: develop your players better than anyone else and out-scheme your opponent. He's building exactly what they hired him to build.
Okay, so we've got this incredible championship-level defense. But, and this is a big but, this is where we get to the heart of the matchup. There might just be a crack in this whole immovable object.
Which brings us to the million-dollar question. Can you really win it all with just defense these days? Is an elite defense truly enough, especially when you're facing an offensive firepower like Duke? I mean, just look at what their offense did last week against Liberty. It wasn't pretty. Only 165 total yards for the whole game, just 10 first downs. And it started rough right out of the gate with an interception on the 4th play of the game. It's a huge, huge contrast to how dominant their defense is. And hey, to his credit, Coach Ward knows it's a work in progress. He's basically saying, hey, it's going to take a minute to get this whole thing installed. You just got to be patient with us. He's asking for patience. But when you're playing Duke, patience is one thing you probably don't have.
So here we are, right back where we started. The unstoppable force of Duke's offense versus the immovable object of Oregon State's defense. What gives first? Will Duke's balanced attack be the one to finally find a crack in that wall, or is Coach Ward's defensive masterpiece going to prove that old saying right, that defense really does win championships? We are about to find out.
Reser Stadium, home to the Oregon State Beavers. This game today could be an inflection point for both of these teams, as each hoping to use it as a springboard to get into the top 25. As we'll see a squad from the ACC, the Duke Blue Devils, taking on the winners of 5 straight, the Oregon State Beavers. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, David Pollack, and Jesse Palmer with me. Guys, it's time to get it going. And the Blue Devils will get us underway with the opening kickoff. He'll start the return inside his 5. Slips through the line. He's got an alley. Wide open, and it's a foot race. And look at it, it's a touchdown.
And you cannot start this game any better than to take the opening kickoff all the way to the house. How about the speed by the return man? Once he got in the open field, that dude was gone. This place is going crazy.
They get set for the point after as we have the first score of the game. And he's got the extra point, and it's 7-0 to start this one. Well, I'd say that's quite a way to make an early statement. Take the opening kickoff and run it all the way back for a touchdown. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. So the Duke Blue Devils offense will go on the attack first. And we've got a superb matchup to watch here, David. One of the best quarterbacks in the country. And how much will he be willing to challenge one of the best corners in the land?
Well, and it's going to be more interesting to me, Jesse, do they let him make a play? Like, does he choose to go after him and believe in his ability and believe in his matchups, or do they stay away from him? Because a lot of people stay away from him. He's that good out wide that you don't want that smoke. And I'm interested to see, Jesse, if he has the onions to go after the corner and try to make plays.
Well, one thing we know about him for sure is he's a believer in his own arm talent. He's the kind of guy that thinks he can fit the football into the...
Turning it on! And he was loose and not stopped until he gets to the 47-yard line.
You know, tight ends are such matchup nightmares and problems for defense. They're too big for DBs to cover, and they're too fast for linebackers to cover. You saw it right there.
Quickly to the tight end. Oh, the sweet juke gets him free. They'll finally get him on the ground, but not before he makes it to the 30 and gets a first down.
Well, I know the tight end did some good things after the catch, but got to give the quarterback credit, too, for the location of the throw. Because he put it out in front of his big man, he was able to make the catch and accelerate, creating some distance there between him and the defense.
Man, oh, man, that ball carrier was just shut down.
And I tell you what, they need some push up front, too, right? They got to move those defensive linemen out of the way, at least create a hole so your running back has a chance. Not there. He didn't have it.
They'll knock him down for a loss of a couple.
Yeah, I think the running back kind of went rogue on that last running play. I'm not sure it was designed to go that direction. He tried to make it happen on his own. Unfortunately, ended up losing yards.
Caught behind the line. It's Jones. Absolutely nowhere to go as this defense makes a third down stop. They'll try to get something out of this drive and kick the field goal here on 4th down. Never a doubt for this big-footed guy. 49-yard field goal is good.
And listen, y'all know in the booth and everywhere how I feel about kickers. Don't always love leaving it on their doing stuff like that. I'll keep trotting them out there.
So the kickoff team is out there ready to boot it away after putting up a field goal. Let's see what the defense can do. And he takes this from inside the 5. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. So the Oregon State Beavers offense has the ball for the first time. Every team has impact players. What traits are you looking for when it comes to players who can make an impact, David?
Well, obviously, you want the main things, right? Speed, physicality, like all power. All those things are really, really good. But you also need guys that will hold people accountable, guys that will lead. And it's nice to have those guys on your team. They're the leaders of the team, and they're the best players.
And part of the reason why they're leaders is because these guys galvanize their teammates, right? We've seen time and time again, these dudes make plays, and it just sparks.
Oh, he's got some space. Pulled down for the tackle.
Well, the defense wasn't expecting that. They had a lot of guys back into coverage. That was second and a lot of yards to go, and they got caught off guard. Not enough guys in the box to control that running back.
Quick pass to the left, trying to get it to the marker. He'll make a play on 3rd down. He's got enough for the first as they mark it at the 32. The Beavers come to the line with a new set of downs. Looking to throw, it's Murphy. Finds his man, it's Hankerson. Makes the grab almost to the first down marker, but a good pickup on that one. And the Beavers in a good spot here with 2nd and short. On the move, it's Hankerson to the 43-yard line and a first down for this offense.
Well, they needed 2 yards for that first down. The running back doing just enough to make sure he keeps this drive alive.
Wants to throw on 1st down. Throws for the tight end. Oh, it's picked off. Looking for more room. And he's wrapped up after a solid return on the pick.
And he makes a play in the back end. Nice job reading the pass, and that's his 2nd of the season. This guy, unbelievable job seeing the quarterback, breaking on the quarterback, and going and getting that big play.
Use the play fake, now to throw. And this will be incomplete. A big hit there forces 2nd down.
Well, the offense taking a shot after getting the takeaway. They're in what's called the fringe area. It's not quite the red zone, but it's a good spot to throw posts, to throw goes, to throw deep corner routes, smash routes. And that's exactly what they were thinking that time. Just a little bit off on the throw. Nice play by the defense, but I love the aggressive nature that time by the O.
It's 3rd down, and they've got to get it to the 33. From the gun, wants to pass. Got rid of it just in time. That pressure got to him, and he just had to chuck it out of bounds.
This is a disappointing drive for the offense, considering where this drive started in their opponent territory. Now you're 4th and long. You've got to be better throwing the football in those types of situations.
Going to make sure he doesn't get a return on this one as the punt bounces out of bounds. Oregon State takes over, ready to send the offense onto the field. Off to a good start here, and back to work now with a 7-3 lead. Creates a little space. That may not look like a huge run, but they'll take it as it gets them up to the 24.
And that would be the definition of 1st down success. Putting yourself in a good position. It's 2nd and inches. I can do whatever I want next. I can take a shot down the field. I can...
Breaks into the open. Moves up to the 34-yard line. Give him a 10-yard pickup.
I'll tell you what, a few more runs like that, and defensively you start thinking, more guys in the box, more big guys. I better stop this guy because he's unbelievable. Just a great job breaking off the big run, and the OC is going to give him the ball some more.
Lining up from the 34 on 1st down. Looking for an open area to his left. He's got an open man. And perhaps a touchdown-saving tackle as he gets him down at the 37.
And the quarterback knew exactly where he wanted to go with the football, had time, spins the ball deep. Nice job by this offense, understanding what the defense is giving them and creating the explosive play.
run to the left. Makes it past the marker. Just making a play, getting it to the 23-yard line. It'll be first down. They'll need to show urgency to get another play off before the clock hits 0. That's the end of the period, and Oregon State has the lead. 1 period in the books, and let's take a look at the stats. Now to see if these guys can get back in the game as we open the second quarter. So after the break, they'll go back to work. They'll give it to him again. Not this time. After finding running room on the previous play, nowhere to go this time around as the defense rises up. Put themselves in a bit of a bind with that last one. It's 2nd and 14. To the air, it's Murphy. Here's a hit. Nowhere to go, and the ball's loose. Once that ball was loose, offense didn't have a chance. Defenders everywhere. It's a turnover.
And that is exactly how you draw it up. You get to the quarterback, but you get the football out. You hit him, you try to rake it out. Great job by the defense, getting the sack, getting the fumble.
And Duke has the ball back, ready to go on the attack. They went 3 and out last time. Now they'll look for some plays that work. Looking downfield on first down. Bought a little time, lets it go. Makes the grab. And they'll spot it at the 45. That's good enough for a first down. New set of downs after the completion. Looking to throw on first down. Snagged in the middle. It's Anthony.
And quarterback dropping back, understanding I'm getting zone coverage. All I got to do is be a little bit patient, manipulate that defense a little bit. My wide receiver runs that drag, and I get the first down.
They'll go to the ground. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
It's an offense that takes pride in being physical. They try to get it going on the ground, but no gain on that one.
Just nowhere to run. Not a lot of wiggle room for the ball carrier.
This defense came in knowing that they had to match their physicality. Let's see if they can keep it up.
And they just want to give this guy a chance to make a play on third down, and more times than not, he is going to deliver.
And he's so good, so efficient, such a good route runner, got the speed, got the complete game, so you definitely want to highlight him, and especially on those downs that matter the most. If something's not open quick underneath.
There he goes. And he eluded the defense, and he'll take it all the way. Touchdown, Blue Devils.
Yeah, and that's a nice job selling it by the offense, dropping back, making it look like it's pass. That running back slipping out of the backfield, throwing him the football, getting a dynamic playmaker in space, and he says, I got this, I'll do the rest, and gets the touchdown.
And the extra point gives them a 3-point lead at 10-7. We check in with Kevin. After that big gainer to open things up, they'll put it in play from the 40. To throw, it's Murphy. Going downfield for the big play. And that one falls incomplete, trying to get a chunk play on that one.
Quarterback trying to attack the middle of the field. I like the aggressive nature, but his receivers aren't 9 feet tall. No one's going to catch that. No one can climb the ladder. You got to bring it down a little bit.
Looking for a physical attack from the gun. A confident, tough, efficient run gets it up to the 44. After the last run, would you just give it to him again on third down? From the gun, wants to pass. Gets open down the middle. Good pick up there. They'll move the chains, and they're set up at the 41. The Beavers are moving quickly down the field. Looking for a crease. It's Hankerson. And that's a very productive first down play and bringing up 2nd and 3.
And winning first downs is a priority for a defense, and you can't get bludgeoned. You can't get physically beat at the point of attack. You know the percentages. It's usually pretty good on first down that they're going to run the football. So them getting that big chunk, getting in second and short, not a good job by this defense. That's a really good stop by the defense. Jesse, they need a few more. You've given up a bunch of yards on this drive and a bunch of plays, but all that matters is keeping them off the scoreboard.
Yeah, it's that bend, don't break mentality you're seeing right now, and this is
Turning it on! The chunk plays that they love, and he takes it all the way down to the 10. These two guys, just on the same wavelength, they make clutch connections all the time.
And that's practice, man. That's all summer. That's all spring. Just so many hundreds and thousands of balls where you know exactly when that guy's going to break. You know he's a stud. You're going to feed him, especially on these third down situations.
Going to work in the red zone, they can't pick up the first down without getting it into the end zone. Keeps looking downfield. They'll be pushed out of bounds just short of the end zone, and that one saved a touchdown at least for now. Boy, they'd love to move the sticks here and take a shot at it on 1st and goal. On 3rd and short, they'll go to the power running game. He's not going to make it to the sticks, and what a stop against one of the best third down offenses in the country. They'll try to salvage a field goal on this drive. Didn't make him sweat at all. It's good. And with the field goal, we are tied here in the 2nd quarter.
how great is it to know?
First play of this drive comes from the 14-yard line. Coming out on 1st down with the play fake. Under heavy pressure, lets it fly. They'll move the chains after he gets it to the 43-yard line. Got to get everybody on the same page in a hurry. To the air on 1st down. Quickly out to the tight end. And the defense had that one well covered, just a short gain there. They'll try to kick it into overdrive. Clock's running, 2nd down coming. Oh, they're after him. Can't make the connection. The pressure there caused the missed timing.
The offense just has not been able to find a way to get their rhythm going here in the 1st half. We just haven't seen it in the passing game. That was a really good example of it again. If they're going to score more points in the 2nd half, they've got to make some adjustments here at halftime.
Another incompletion on 3rd down.
I love the job here by the linebacker. He just kind of floats and he's shuffling and he's waiting to see which way the quarterback's going to go with the football. Not able to snag it out of the air, but hey, batting it away, it's a big-time play.
Plenty of time left in the half here as they take over, but they will want to be efficient here in the final 2 minutes. Back to pass, it's Murphy. That's reeled in, it's Walker. He gets those chains moving, gets it out to the 42-yard line. Big chunk play to start this drive. Now they'll really try to take it to this defense. Wants to go up top on 1st down. Good hands in there by the defense to force the incompletion.
Well, the offense is trying to complete that in route against zone coverage, but that was not a big window to try to fit that football in, and as a result, too easy for the defense to knock it down.
Here's the pressure. Makes a man miss. Found enough room to get it into enemy territory. They're down at the 43-yard line. They'll rush to the line. Clock stopped for the 1st down. They'll set the chains and wind the clock. Makes the grab on the left. The offense wastes no time getting the timeout call. Line getting set on 2nd down. Wants to throw. He's working against the clock. Caught near the sticks. It's Walker. Brought down just outside the red zone. He moves the chains. It's at the 22. The Beavers want to move quickly. Looking to throw on 1st down. Grabbed in the middle. It's Card. They'll get it down to the 10-yard line on that completion. The offense calls timeout. It's the second one they've used this half. And the Beavers line it up with a 1st and goal. Wants to throw on 1st down. Unleashes to the end zone. Into the hallelujah land. Touchdown, Beavers!
And the offense breaks the tie, takes the lead, gains some momentum. How big is this, Palmer, now? Going into the half with the lead, with the momentum.
Well, they break the tie, but they also break their confidence a little bit now. The opponent now has to go into the locker room, probably down, and they're wondering, what adjustments do we have to make? What do we have to fix? Because we've got our work cut out for us in this game.
He'll try to tack on one more. And the extra point is true, and they're on top by 7. That is an efficient drive. 7 plays, 75 yards. And they finish it off by connecting from 10 yards out. And a special teams miscue as the kickoff goes out of bounds.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
Ball is coming out to the 40 after that penalty on the kickoff. Let's go. First play of the drive, wants to throw. Catch in the middle, it's Anthony. Gets it all the way down to the 39-yard line. It'll be a 1st down.
That receiver found the open space in the zone coverage, and as a defense, honestly, you just throw your hands up on that because they covered it pretty well. It was just a good play call and really nice execution.
Just a few seconds remaining here as they try to put something up before halftime. Looking downfield on 1st down. Grabbed over the middle, it's Kane. We've got a timeout in the waning seconds of the half. Maybe a chance to get off a couple more plays. So now it's 2nd and long. Corner's going to give them room. Looking to go up top, and time's running out in the half. And the quick shuffle pass underneath. Just making a play, getting it to the 23-yard line. It'll be 1st down. We've got a timeout here late in the 1st half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. So with only seconds left in the half, here comes the field goal unit. It's good. Easy call for the ref. That'll cut the lead down to 4, 17-13. We've played 2 quarters here. Time to go to Kevin Connors in our halftime update.
Guys, you've been calling a lively one from there in Corvallis. And yes, football is a game of inches, but man, is that really the case when you consider the length of some of these possessions. Look, I'm not an analytics guy, but I do know this. The team that sustains drives and just moves the sticks might be the team that comes out on top today. And with that, let's send it back to the fellas inside Reser Stadium.
This segment is powered by our friends over at Castor and Cask Brewing Company. When the day's work is done and the dam is secure, there's only one way to wind down. Located in the heart of the valley, Castor and Cask is craft brewing with a wild side. From their award-winning Log Jam IPA to the smooth, dark Muddy Bank Stout, every pint is brewed with local hops and mountain-fed water. It's crisp, it's refreshing, and it's earned its place at the top of the food chain. Whether you're celebrating a big win or just cooling off after a long haul, head down to the tap room and tell them the lodge sent you. Castor and Cask Brewing Company, respect the river, drink the beer.
This is the brief on the Oregon State versus Duke halftime statistical breakdown. All right, let's get into the first half of this Oregon State versus Duke game because, you know, the scoreboard is telling a completely different story than the stats. Oregon State is up 17-13, but when you look at the numbers, they just don't really add up. First up, and this is the real head-scratcher, Duke's offense has actually been way more efficient even though they're losing. They're leading in total offense and yards per play. Their quarterback, DYNASTY Mensah, has been pretty solid. But here's the problem. They keep stalling out in the red zone. They had to settle for 2 long field goals instead of touchdowns, and that's really what's killing them. Okay, second, how is Oregon State ahead then? Well, they're basically living on big, risky plays. Their first 7 points? That came from a massive 96-yard kickoff return for a touchdown by wide receiver Zachary Card. But, on the other hand, They've been sloppy. Their quarterback, Malik Murphy, has already turned the ball over twice, while Duke has 0 turnovers. So yeah, that lead feels kind of shaky. And finally, let's talk about the key players who are really making things happen. For Oregon State, it's got to be Zachary Card. He's got that huge kick return TD, and he's their leading receiver. For Duke, you've got Darian Mensah slinging it and running back Peyton Jones keeping those efficient drives moving. So here's the deal. Duke is winning the stats game, but they just can't finish. And Oregon State is making them pay with explosive plays, even with all their turnover troubles.
Beavers will boot it away to start the second half. On the run from inside his own 5. And the returner is stopped. And Duke has the ball back, ready to go on the attack. Maybe adjustments or attitude adjustments, but they've got to find a way to run the ball at least some here in this. Oh, he's got some space. We've seen this from this sophomore, so dangerous after he makes the grab.
Well, we see another catch by this guy. This defense is going to need to do a better job of tackling the catch. In coverage, I know they want to slap the ball away, but if you can't do it and force the incompletion, you've got to at least make sure you're able to drag him down to the ground as soon as he catches the ball.
Nice pickup there. Gets him the first down and sets him up at the 45-yard line. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Looks as if he's going to run it.
And that quarterback can go. Just another guy in another system all across college football. All quarterbacks nowadays, they got so much speed, it's ridiculous.
Man, I'm telling you, that has to be exhausting for the defensive lineman trying to chase down guys like that.
It's silly because even when it's a design play and it's a design run like here, fine. But then it's scramble plays and then it's passing plays. He's always running. Just exhausting.
The Blue Devils line up trying to move the sticks on 3rd and short. Off the RPO, complete. Working their way closer and closer, a 3rd down conversion, and they've got it at the 26.
That is an excellent throw by the quarterback, finding the window between the zones and delivering that ball on time.
Reads it, fires complete. Didn't pick up a lot there, moved it forward just a few.
Hey, man, if you're going to make plays like that on slant throws, you got to be able to make catches in traffic. Good, strong hands by the wideout there on the slant.
Off play action. Right down the middle. It's complete. He stopped just short of the goal line, but they'll have it 1st and goal from the 1.
And I think this receiver's forte is his route running. He's a guy that can line up all over the field, but it's not just catching post routes and goes. This guy can run shallows, he can run slants, he can run the option routes and find soft spots in the defense. This guy...
Touchdown, Duke! And with that one, they jump on top here in the second half. I tell you, when this drive started, the defense thought they had them in a hole. Not anymore. What a performance.
And I really like the play calling by the offensive coordinator on that last drive. That was a nice mixture of running and throwing and getting different players involved. Really nice job, very poised in that play calling, and it showed up with a touchdown.
The kick is good, but the penalty flag indicates we've got a roughing the kicker call coming. Play call for that big gain to open the drive. Now here they come on 1st and 10. Motion from the back. Quick pass on the jet motion. He is stopped behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose yards on that one. The Beavers now with a long way to go to pick up the 1st down. Trying play action. He spins that thing down the middle. Fires into traffic, intercepted. Takes it the other way. They'll be stopped, but not before getting the football and picking up big yardage on the return. What a play there. And the Duke offense heads back out onto the field. They stuck the last drive in the end zone. They'll try to follow suit here. Got it in the middle. It's Kane. That's why the good Lord invented tight ends, isn't it, David? Get a good pickup on 1st down, open up the entire playbook.
And just makes life so easy on quarterbacks. I mean, you got these guys that are so gifted athletically that you can do everything with them. They're like overgrown wide receivers, and now understanding zones and how to attack them. It's just unbelievable when you got these kind of big athletes.
You know, it's funny. I know running backs oftentimes are afterthoughts when it comes to the passing game, but when you think about it, this guy's been making people miss his entire life taking handoffs. So why wouldn't you try to get him involved in the passing game as well?
Picked off to stop the threat. He goes down after the short return, but what a play to get the football back.
Some defensive players just have a knack. I've played with guys throughout the course of my career, but you can't coach it. It's not speed. It's not.
Oregon State has it back, and here comes the Beaver offense. He threw a pick the last time they had it. Now they have to take care of the football. He leaves it with his back. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play. They got nothing on the last play. It's 2nd and 10. Wants to adjust the pattern. Wants to throw. It's Murphy. Throws to the wideout. And here's the 3rd interception of the night. Touchdown, Blue Devils. What a play. Not only the interception, but the great... It's a good thing to be charitable, Jesse, but I think the last couple of drives might be overdoing it a bit.
I agree, and I think at this point, David, the quarterback here, he's got to be a CEO, and he's got to really get his guys settled down. A couple turnovers in a row now. They've got to find a rhythm.
A CEO, a.k.a. don't screw it up, young man. That's what it sounds like on the sidelines with the coaches. We got to stop turning the football over.
Working that left side now. They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that 1st down marker. On 3rd and long, try to convert through the air. He's got it inside the 30. Off to the races to the right. Touchdown, Oregon State. And once he found open space, the band might as well start playing.
One of the reasons this offense is so exciting to watch, they've got guys that are dangerous after the catch. If this quarterback gets through his progression, David, hits you in stride, these guys will take it to the house.
Man, it's your job to do the rest, right? You hit me in stride where I don't have to stop running. I don't have to break down. It makes it so easy. The connection between quarterback, wide receiver, you can tell this is a good one, and that's why they got 6 on that play.
On to attempt the try. And with the extra point, every little bit counts as they get closer.
Guys, the Deep South's oldest rivalry is writing another chapter today, and we're pleased to document it. Auburn and Georgia, and here's a quick update. Georgia was like a 65-man mute button. They went on the road and silenced one of the most vocal crowds in football. And it's clear this Dogs team has adopted the mantra, let your play do the talking. Sure happened today. Each week in the SEC, the tests are just so tough. And we found that out today again, guys, with another good team taking one on the chin.
Kevin, thanks a lot for that one. Sounds as if they had a good one there. Trying to start the drive with a pass. Caught in the backfield, it's Jones.
I'll tell you what, if you want to be overzealous and you want to be a blitzer all the time, I like running the screen right behind him. Did a great job throwing the screen. Almost broke this one for a long game, but it just keeps the defense a little bit more honest if you want to start bringing a lot of pressure.
Still on his feet at the 40. At the 45, on his way. He's loose on the left. And finally out of bounds after an explosive run by this ball carrier.
I want to have consistency in my run game. I tell you what, this is how you do it. You don't have to always make the big play, but if you give it enough time, it's like Novocaine. You keep feeding it, all of a sudden, boom, you make a big play off of it. You can...
Touchdown, Duke! Excellent pass by the back on the option. Did not take long to get into the end zone. Now let's see if this gets this offense to hit overdrive.
Now we may have a situation here. We might have points, more points, and more points. You keep putting drives together like that quickly, tune up that much yardage, defenses are going to have to get something figured out.
They'll try to tack one more on their score. And with the extra point, they're now up by a touchdown and a field goal at 10.
coach, quarterback, and wide receiver have done this 4 million times in the offseason. He catches, waits for him to take a couple steps, boom, fires it right on his chest. They can complete.
There he goes. And this defense's head is spinning. He gets it down to the 27. He's been so locked in, it seems like any pass called is a guaranteed chunk play.
Yeah, and winning late like this in the ball game, keep trusting him, keep spinning. You know why? Because stats matter late in the game. You want some postseason awards? Keep chucking it, keep getting those stats.
At this point of the game, the offense has the lead, and the offensive coordinator knows they want to keep running the football. So he's going back, he's looking at his playlist, and he's saying, which runs work the best for me in this game? What can I lean on right here to make sure we win this one?
He fought him off for a while, and that's what they mean by gang tackling. Defense getting stingier in their own end of the field. It's 3rd and long from the 28. From the gun, wants to pass. Got out of trouble and throws. Can't make the connection on 3rd down thanks to that tough, hard-nosed pass defense, and now it's 4th down. And now on 4th down, they will put it on the shoulders of the kicker to save them with his foot. And it's right down the boulevard. And they'll push that lead out a little further. Last time they had to punt it away from deep in their own territory, hoping this drive will be more productive. And the defense making a play, getting a hand on that pass.
Yeah, I don't know if the quarterback got confused on 1st down. He might have thought the defense was going to be in man coverage that time, but they were in zone. They fooled him and just didn't seem like he had his eyes in the right place, was forcing that ball to his intended target. The window way too small. The guy was not open, so that didn't have that chance to be complete.
The Beavers are at the line looking to convert on 3rd and short. To the ground to try to pick up the first. And the defense knew exactly where that 1st down line was, and they stopped him short. Coach has no choice here. The offense has to stay on the field, down multiple possessions this late. 4th down attempt coming.
Man, you see this at all levels of football. It's the hardest play to stop. I think everybody's yelling in the stands, QB sneak, QB sneak. It doesn't matter. You know it's coming, but it's so difficult with all those guys, all those bodies to try to stop that quarterback.
And that incomplete pass caused by the big hit on 1st down. 2nd down coming. What will they dial up on 2nd and a long way to go? Power football with the run. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd and long. Dropping back, it's Murphy. Unloads to the wideout. Incomplete. He had to get rid of it before he wanted to. The defense put the heat on.
3rd and long situations are really hard to convert. The defense knows it's going to be passed. The pass rushers are getting upfield. You're under pressure. You don't have timing. And as a result now, 4th down.
They got him. It's a sack. And what a stop for this defense to turn it over on downs. Sometimes it's just not your day. Things just didn't work, and that seemed to be the case here.
Yeah, they didn't get the W. They didn't do enough. But now you start to think about what could I have done differently? What do I need to become more offensively? Defensively, what can I morph into to make those extra plays, Jesse? That might be the difference in the next game that I play.
Yeah, David, they just need a little bit more. They need a little bit better effort next week. They're going to need better preparation this week in practice. There's no doubt this team has a lot of talent, but we just need a little bit more to ensure that this doesn't happen next week.
That will put the wrap on things from here. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis. You've been watching another presentation of EA.
Welcome to The Debate. Today we're looking at a fascinating game, Duke's 37-24 victory over Oregon State. And really, it was a tale of two halves. Oregon State was leading 17-13, looking pretty comfortable, and then the whole thing just flipped.
It really did. And the central question we have to tackle is why. Was this Duke winning the game through just sheer, sustained offensive efficiency? Or was this Oregon State basically handing it to them through a catastrophic failure of execution?
And I'm firmly in the first camp. I believe Duke's fundamental efficiency and design were the deciding factors here.
And I'll be arguing that
No, this was primarily a self-inflicted wound, a total collapse by Oregon State.
All right, so let me lay out my case. I think when you look at the numbers, Duke's offensive efficiency was, well, it was overwhelming. They averaged 8.9 yards per play, 8.9, and 7.2 yards every time they ran the ball. That shows a consistent ability to just move down the field at will. And their quarterback, Darian Mensah, was just surgically precise. He completed, 27 of 35 passes? That's 77%. For 332 yards, a 169.9 rating. To me, that says Duke simply could not be stopped when they needed a score.
I see those numbers, but I come at it from a completely different angle. For me, this loss was fundamentally about an execution failure. Look, Oregon State finished with 4 turnovers, 3 interceptions thrown by Malik Murphy, and a lost fumble. That gives you a -3 turnover margin. You just can't win football games like that. And that Deshaun Stone interception, the one he returned 31 yards for a touchdown in the third quarter, that was the backbreaker. That single play just negated everything Oregon State had built up, including their pretty significant possession time advantage.
It's an interesting point, but I think calling those turnovers self-inflicted is a little simplistic. It sort of ignores the other side of the ball. Turnovers don't just happen in a vacuum. They often come from defensive pressure, and Duke's defense was creating chaos. They had 5 sacks in that game.
Sure.
5, plus 6 total tackles for loss. That kind of pressure forces a quarterback into bad decisions. It forces errors. So those 3 interceptions, I would argue they should be credited to Duke's defense creating havoc, not just chalked up to poor Oregon State execution.
Okay, but let's frame that differently. Before this game, Oregon State had the nation's second-best defense in points allowed. They were giving up like 10.4 points a game. And then Duke hangs 21 on them in the third quarter alone. That's not just pressure, that's a dam breaking. And while pressure was a factor, the raw total of 4 turnovers is just extreme. They even had 2 in the first half and still managed to have a lead. Something else happened. Plus, you look at discipline. Oregon State had 2 penalties. Duke had 0. 0. That, to me, suggests a much broader discipline issue that fed right into that second-half collapse.
I'm still not convinced that explains it all. Because even if you account for the turnovers, Duke's ability to generate 418 yards on only 47 plays, that speaks to something more fundamental. It points to a superior offensive design, that veer and shoot system, and just pure effectiveness. They were getting almost 10 yards per pass attempt. They maximized every single possession they had.
I grant that 8.9 yards per play is tremendous, but efficiency is kind of a moot point if the other team is just handing you the ball at midfield, right? We have to distinguish between dominance and simple opportunism. And that 21-point swing in the third quarter, which was fueled entirely by those turnovers, it stands as the biggest statistical anomaly of the whole game. It was a failure of focus that let Duke seize control.
To wrap up my side, the evidence strongly suggests Duke's victory was secured by their highly efficient offense and that relentless defensive pressure. The 8.9 yards per play and 0 penalties, that's the sign of a team operating at its absolute peak.
And from my perspective, while Duke was certainly efficient, this loss hinges completely on Oregon State's 4 turnovers and that resulting 21-point swing. The question really is whether a team ranked second nationally in points allowed was beaten by pure talent, or if they just crumbled from their own internal execution errors.
Well, both positions are certainly supported by the game statistics. It leaves you to weigh the impact of that sustained, methodical efficiency against the absolutely devastating effect of a few critical game-changing errors.
A classic debate of excellence versus self-destruction. And there's definitely more to dig into in this one.
This segment is powered by our friends over at Castor and Cask Brewing Company. When the day's work is done and the dam is secure, there's only one way to wind down. Located in the heart of the valley, Castor and Cask is craft brewing with a wild side. From their award-winning Log Jam IPA to the smooth, dark Muddy Bank Stout, every pint is brewed with local hops and mountain-fed water. It's crisp, it's refreshing, and it's earned its place at the top of the food chain. Whether you're celebrating a big win or just cooling off after a long haul, head down to the tap room and tell them the lodge sent you. Castor and Cask Brewing Company. Respect the river, drink the beer. And that's a wrap on this edition of State of the Beavers. Thanks for spending some time in the lodge with us today. If you enjoyed the show, make sure to subscribe on your favorite platform and leave us a review. It really helps the colony grow. Big thanks to our production team and, most importantly, to you for listening. Keep building, keep grinding, and we'll catch you on the next one. Until next time, this has been the State of the Beavers. Stay sharp out there.
We live every snap, every loss, every flex, every